Rice undoes them all.
And what a match then. Arsenal 4, Luton Town 3, as it looked like at one stage that Arsenal would invite the chasing pack to close the gap. In the end, they extend it now to 5 points, with both Liverpool and Manchester City in action tomorrow. Nadim Anua joins us. Hi, because too excited by your background, Nadim. I forgot your name. Nadim looks like he's in an episode of Black Mirror. More on that in a moment. But first, let's start off. Steve, what a game. What a brilliant match.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to need that.
Because I said...
I'd shut off there.
That's all right. Should we start again? Oh, live. All right, OK. Right. Stevie, what a brilliant match.
Well, I mean, there's pretty much two things in my head right now. And the first one is that this is what title winners do.
Right.
They get themselves in a bad situation and somehow claw their way out of it. And there's no question that's exactly what Arsenal did. The other thing is clearly the goalkeeper, David Raya. You know, this guy, as we stand, basically is making a mistake after mistake every game. Every game. Not now and again, but every game. Sometimes he gets away with it, and today he didn't get away with it. So Mikel Arteta has got himself in a right pickle, because with every game and with every mistake, it's making the things that Arteta was saying about the goalkeeping situation ridiculous every single time it happens. And I've got to tell you, when the second goal went in, the first thing that came to my head was, OK then, you try to talk nonsense about substituting goalkeepers. If ever there was a time to do what you said you wanted to do, now's the time. The goalkeeper's thrown two in, and you've got, according to you, another number one sitting on the bench. So put him in, and he didn't do it. So again, talk your way out of that. But the most important thing is, Arsenal dug their way out of a situation, and that's what title winners do.
We'll talk about the goalkeeper.
Mikel Arteta. Who thought that you were going to be, like, your true colours were going to be reviewed against Luton? Okay, maybe I might have started a little bit harsh, but that is true, people. Because, of course, the Arsenal were in control of this game. Of course, Arsenal did not even deserve to be anywhere. And at the end of the day, like what Stevie Nicol is saying, they had to get themselves out of a losing position. And that's what title winners do in every situation. Every team that has ever won something special, this is where they always have to find themselves at and actually find ways of getting themselves out of that. So no matter what, that part I respect it, and I see it as very, very important, because that helps the team believe. That gives the momentum to the team and gives the team the power and the influence to want to keep going strong and actually go do something more than what they actually did. But David Raya, when I said this a few months ago now, about how this is a terrible plan, what Mikel Arteta was planning, I knew situations like this will come. The reason why there were some mistakes we saw from Aaron Ramsdale last season is because he was playing in a team that always receives so much pressure, and there's so much expectation from you than the team that he was coming from, which was Sheffield. Which also, now when you think about it, now that's the same situation with Brentford's David Raya. Because at Brentford, nobody expected him to do anything. But now he's in a team like us now, where he's expected to produce something. The expectation is now too high. And because of the expectation, look where we are getting ourselves from. And it's all because of Mikel Arteta. I talked about this just recently last week about Onana and Manchester United. And I said, these were my last remarks. If you go watch the video back, I said, in fact, it was when I was just talking about Onana, that 8-minute video. I think I'll just link it up with this video after I'm done. I said, the next who's left because of this crazy goalkeeper decision and it will suffocate from them is Mikel Arteta. And according to what this guy told us in the beginning of the season, He has two number one goalkeepers. And with the two number one goalkeepers, if one makes mistakes, he's going to sub him out of the game and put another one. So I think something that has become clear, which I said in the beginning of the video, Mikel Arteta lied to us. And these decisions he's doing, keeping a keeper who's not even deserving to be in the game, is clear to all of us to see that he was lying to us. He was lying to his own fans. And if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll be hurt because you are seeing a goalkeeper in David Raya who's actually doing worse than what Ramsdale was doing last season and what got Ramsdale to lose his position. Is it favoritism that is playing here? Is it because they come from the same country, David Raya and Mikel Arteta, they speak the same language? We don't want to use the racist card in this situation, but it feels like there's something more in Raya than in Ramsdale, which has nothing to do with his skills, which has nothing to do with his goalkeeping skills, because what we have seen time and time again is flopping. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Click the like button, subscribe to connect. Let's hear what the ESPN guys has to say as we continue with this video.
The situation in a little more detail in a moment, but Nadem, as Stevie said, when it comes to their title credentials, Arsenal added another notch, didn't they, today?
Yeah, they certainly did. But I think we have to look at last season as well. And they had quite a few moments just like this where they were scoring really late goals. I think it was like in Kessler against United. There were so many moments like this. Is this going to be the title-defining moment for them? And in some ways, I'm with Stevie. You know, you've obviously got the goalkeeping issue as such, but I thought this game would have been more comfortable for Arsenal, especially given how well they started. They go 1-0 up and they're forcing the Luton goal to make so many saves. But maybe at some point that sort of luck will run out. But at the end of the day, they've got people who can step up in the biggest moments, the likes of Declan Rice, the ball in from Odegaard. And it's not to say that they don't panic, but they go and have a belief that they can go and get a result. And I think these days, for me, I don't know if you guys would agree, it feels... I'd be surprised if they didn't go and get a late goal, as is their ability to do so with the people that are on the field, the belief that they have and the times when they've done it before. And it's a shame for Luton, but for Arsenal, like, you know, that feeling of getting a last-minute winner, doesn't matter who it's against, is a fantastic feeling. But for them, it shows that they are now 5 points clear at the top of the table.
And we've seen it, haven't we, Shaka? Obviously, Manchester United famously in the past, Liverpool did it in their title-winning season as well. Being able to find something late on.
I'll be honest, I mentioned during the highlight from the time Havertz scored with 60 minutes on the clock, you just knew Arsenal were going to find a winner. You just felt it all along. The surprising thing was that it took so late and Luton played their own part in the build-up to that goal, a cheaply conceded foul. But then Declan Rice stepped up, and I keep saying this. When West Ham were selling Declan Rice in the summer and the price started to go north of 65 million, I thought West Ham were getting an absolute bargain here. I mean, I did not think that Declan Rice was worth that kind of money. The 105 or whatever it's now gone, it eventually went for. Declan Rice is worth every single penny. And as much as we'll talk about this late header, whenever Arsenal have struggled, both ends of the park, defensively or today offensively, Declan Rice has somehow been the person that they've been able to call on. It really is incredible to watch this man play the game. He is such a talent. And yes, there's a lot of things you can blame Luton for in terms of, well, certainly the first and the fourth goal that they conceded. But you've got to give Arsenal credit for, again, not switching off, grinding out a result somehow. These things add up at the end of the season. You'll be on the wrong end of a couple, but as long as you keep doing this time and time again, those things work in your favour long term.
Declan Rice, coach's dream, I imagine, Stevie. Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the guy just stands out on the field. You always know where he is, and you can always see him on the field, whether it's with the ball or without the ball, which you can't say for a lot of players. You really can't, including Havertz. Havertz got his goal, but Xhaka came to me at half-time and said, you know what, I didn't even realise Havertz was playing. You cannot...
Where were you?
Well, he was out. All right, okay. I was holding the fort. Where were you? Because you weren't there either.
I had to pick the kids up.
Oh, yeah, right. But as I said, that's Declan Rice. He stands out, regardless of who they're playing. Today it was Luton. But regardless of whether it's Luton or whether it's Man City, the other end of the table, this guy makes a difference.
That's very, very important when you look at how this team got themselves out of the moments where they were at. Because if you want to be a contender of winning a title, if you want to prove that you deserve to get something, if you want to have that feeling of believing that you can get something, these are the games that are defining. These moments are the moments that defines your season, where you are going, the direction of where you could be and what you could do. And the Arsenal did it perfectly well, last minute winner. And the exciting part is that this is a player who was bought for £100 million. People thought that maybe that price tag will be heavy on him, but somehow it seems like he's inviting the pressure. And he's being the moment deciding, he's being the player who decides where the game goes, where the momentum of a game goes. He's the one who's bringing belief. And it's not only the first time, it's time and time again. And that tells me that there is something special with this guy that is building at Arsenal. There is something special that they can work on, build on, and actually be able to produce and do more with it. That's very, very, very important if you are going to try to win anything in Premier League season. This is very, very important because it gives you that belief, that moment of belief that you can do it. We saw it last week with Liverpool versus Fulham. When the game seems like it was gone, they can always do these things like this. And these are the teams that can, and I believe will challenge to the very end. At the moment, the still holders are still Man City, but they can. But in this week, following to this day, we can say Liverpool had a problem, got themselves out of it and won in the end. That's the same thing with Arsenal they did against Luton. Now, could that be what Man City failed to do against the team that they played last week with? They need to find a way when there's no way. And that will tell us where this team is going. And I'm telling you, Declan Rice, there is something special that this guy is building. There is something special that he's bringing into this dressing room, making them believers, making them know that they can do it. Even the likes of Kai Havertz are now stepping up. And you can see that it's the unity that maybe we can say Mikel Arteta is building, except of the goalkeeper part. That's why I don't really want to give so much of the praise to Mikel Arteta, because as much as he is helping the team to find a way to get out of this turmoil, he is also the reasons why they are in this turmoil. So there is that moment, that situation of, you have to decide where you look at it and how you're actually going to analyze it. So that has to change. But I'm telling you, if they keep playing like this, if they keep believing like this team are destined for more. I'm telling you, that is to be the truth.
He's going to be the person that's in the sticks. How many shots are going to be let off? Because for anyone, for any player, you always want to say, we'll move on, everything's fine. But in reality, you always remember the mistakes that you make. And, in this instance, he's lucky in some ways that Arsenal ended up winning the game, and, Declan Rice is hugging him afterwards. But everyone knows the eyes are on him. And as he travels around the country now playing in these games, fans are letting him know that he's making mistakes. And it's very hard to forget about the mistakes he's made before.
This is all of Arteta's own doing, isn't it, yeah?
Yeah, it is. This has been coming all season long, in all honesty. And to Stevie's point, I'm not sure how you address this. And as much as I've been saying all along that Mikel Arteta has to establish who's his number one. And I think he's done that in who he's selected. David Raya is now his number one. But then, even after that, I wake up this morning to the news that Mikel Arteta is saying that he hopes Ramsdale doesn't leave this January. I mean, all those things start to play in the back of David Raya's mind. Is the manager really convinced about me or is he not? And that turns in the performances that you have. And now the one time that we've seen Ramsdale, well, over the last couple of weeks, he didn't perform particularly well either. So now you have two, albeit talented goalkeepers who have this seed of doubt put in their mind by the manager, and neither of them are performing anywhere close to they can, or I think, a title-winning team needs them to be. They may keep getting bailed out. If Arsenal do go on to win this season, it's less about, it's more about, I think, City being less than we've seen them to be, than Arsenal just being better and able to absorb the goalkeeping situation as it is.
We find ourselves in this situation again, where we have to decide who's to blame and what to do. The only reason why we are here is because of Mikel Arteta. He is the one who built this grave. He is the one who made all these things go the way it is. He turned things that were going well for this team into a sideways. Because one thing that happened was this: Ramsdale, as much as he was terrible, he kept Arsenal in most of the games. Let me remind you something. Let me remind you something that is very important. If it wasn't because of the performance of Aaron Ramsdale at Anfield, Arsenal would have been actually embarrassed the way they finished last season than what happened. You have a goalkeeper which we know he is one of the best savers of the world. Now you have gone to get David Raya, which of course you say is good with his feet. You know, I think he took that one out of Eric Ten Hag's book. But you say he's very good with his feet. But it seems like with savings, he's always creating his own problems. And now the players knows it from different teams. And also now the fans from different teams knows it. In few weeks, in fact, in the next 1 week or so, or 2 weeks, Arsenal are going to Anfield. Arsenal are going to Anfield. I know Darwin Núñez does not really score so much, but he hits the target. And that's I think at this point, with David Raya goal hitting the target, that's it. Aaron Ramsdale was confident, but his confidence is down because the manager does not believe in him. And it's clear. We all know that he has made his decision. These are the things that can build or destroy a manager, either's reputation or maybe chances of winning a title, which is actually a meaningful title. And I'm telling you, believe me, Mikel Arteta will regret this decision. Of all the decisions he has made, this goalkeeper decision to make it a competition between the goalkeepers for a manager who haven't yet won a bigger title, this will come back to haunt him. He made these situations, he made these errors, and they will leave a scar. And they will stop this young team from achieving what they're aspiring to do. Today, they were saved by Declan Rice. Who's to say you will be able to save them again when they meet? With a bigger team, a team that will have fun, expose them at the back, and taking advantage of them at the back. Who's to say they'll survive that pressure? I'm here. I'll be talking to you. It's gonna be exciting to see where December takes us. But listen to me, you Gunners. Listen to me, everyone. Whatever that is about to happen to us now, it's because of your manager. He caused this. He put your team into this. And it's gonna be crazy how it will turn out. It's really, really gonna be crazy how it's gonna look like at the very end. So, we'll see. We'll be there. We'll be there. And we'll be watching it. And we'll be talking about it. So do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to Connect. I want to hear your thoughts. What did you really thought of the game? And where do you see the two teams going? What do you think of Luton Park? Because as much as the ESPN guys talked about this, we have to put some respect on Luton. Because they keep causing havoc to the big teams. Anyway, I'm out. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect. We'll be back again. Peace. We out. Deuces.